What is happening, Star Wars fans? Now, before I say anything else, boys and girls, we are in Code Red. This is my spoiler talk, discussion, whatever you want to call it. This is spoiler heavy. Do not watch this video unless you've seen the movie or you just don't give a crap anymore. Either way, that is your spoiler warning. You've been warned. This whole video is going to be nothing but spoilers. If you want to see my non-spoiler review, I'll leave a link in the description so you can check it out. Right, so I've kind of like broken down what I want to talk about in this video now. First of all, I'm going to be talking about Kylo Ren, then Rey, then Palpatine, then the end scene, and then just a load of things right at the end that I liked and didn't like. First of all, Kylo Ren, I'm loving it, mate. I'm loving it like McDonald's. I was enjoying it so much, mate. Kylo Ren in this movie, he smashed it, mate. He absolutely smashed it. Adam Driver's performance, mixed with his badass new helmet and his new suit, and just the way JJ directs Kylo Ren from The Force Awakens, he was a monster, mate. He exceeded, straight up, exceeded my expectations by a lot, man. Kylo Ren in this movie was 10 out of 10, perfect. And he finally beat Rey, mate. And not just beat her, destroyed her, mate. The first few times they fight, you kind of see like he's kind of messing around with her, like he's intentionally getting her to get the rage in him. And he's like dodging her saber swings. He's just chilling, mate. But when they actually go for it, on the wreckage of the Death Star, mind you, which is one of the best lightsaber fights I've ever seen, mate. The way they're fighting, the way they're using the force jumps, it reminded me a lot of the prequels, but just with really good, like, CGI. It was a masterpiece, mate. That fight, one of the best. But he destroys her, mate. He absolutely destroys her. At the end, she's on the floor, beaten, mate. Dead. Finish. I'm so happy because all those people are like, oh, Rey beats him every time. Yeah, well, not in this movie, mate, because he beats her, and it made me very happy. That leads into the next thing I really liked, when he senses that Leia dies, and he senses it before Rey, which I really liked. It's a nice little touch, very subtle, because that's his mum, man. That is his mum. Of course he's going to feel it first, and he feels it. He drops his lightsaber. Obviously, Rey picks it up, just with the rage hunt, because, you know, she's like totally salty, she's getting her ass kicked, and then stabs him in like the abdomen. Just what an epic fight, man. Just that moment with Leia as well, very emotional, and I really liked that she healed him. I know a few people are like, oh, now they can heal people. I'll talk more about that in a bit. It's going to be my like Palpatine section. It's a line of dialogue that he says which kind of covers it ish. And spoiler alert, we also see it in The Mandalorian. Baby Yoda, he was one of the monster creature things. Or is it a monster creature? No, it's not. It's a person. I'm losing a plot, boys and girls. Side note, that was very strategic to put that episode on the day Rise of Skywalker came out. You sneaky buggers, Disney. I know what you're doing. I also can't remember the exact line, but he says a line to Rey, something like, you can't go home anymore, just like I can't go home. And that hit me, man. And in fact, there was a few moments that the nerd tears were on full power, mate. And one of the moments, probably the biggest one, was the Han Solo scene. Now, I already know a lot of people didn't like it. They thought he was a Force ghost. He's not a Force ghost, mate. He's a memory. It's in his head. He even says it in the movie. But that scene, oh my God, mate. I was sitting in the cinema, right? Both my bros next to me. And I was like that, mate. Trying my best to hold back the full-on nerd tears, mate. Proper tears. It was so emotional, man. And Adam Driver's performance is 10 out of 10. The dude is so underrated. He's got so much like emotional range, and JJ brought it out of him. I got nothing but love for Kylo Ren, and I keep saying it, but I love him in this movie. I love him. But yeah, to summarise, the Han Solo scene, that was so emotional. It got me. I loved it. I love seeing Harrison Ford come back as Han Solo one last time. And he tries to say I love you, and before he says it, he says I know. Just one of those moments you're just like, yes! Now, if you've been subbed to my channel for a while, you know, I've said multiple times, an arc to be perfect for Han Solo. Sorry, Kylo Ren. I am properly losing the plot, boys and girls. To finish his arc for me and what I want to see, I want to see him come back to being Ben Solo, and I want to see him die in a very meaningful way. And I got both, mate. Hence, I'm so happy right now. Side note, that's another line between Kylo and Rey I really liked, when he says about taking my hand, and she says, I wanted to take Ben's hand, not Kylo's. Again, got me here. Nerd tears. Yes! But my boy became Ben Solo once again. I'm so happy, man. And he absolutely destroyed the Knights of Ren. They got battered, mate. They had their little, like, 45 seconds of victory, and then once he got that saber, mate, done, finished, it's over. He destroyed them quick time, mate. No messing around. Also, he really looked the part, man. He looked like a different character. Just JJ, Kylo Ren, Adam Driver, you guys smashed it, mate. We'll talk more about the Reylo stuff at the end in my, like, ending part of this chat discussion thing. So now let's talk about Rey, man. Rey Palpatine, to be exact. And I called it, mate. Your boy called it. Obviously, I didn't have my YouTube channel, but I said, since The Force Awakens, that Sith-like, stabby thrust move, whatever you want to call it, only Palpatine has used that, mate. But I'm very, very happy she's a Palpatine. It makes perfect sense, man. Grandkids must continue the legacy in the end. The grandkids of Palpatine and Skywalker. I loved it. And it explains how she's so OP in the Force, man. Because you know that Palpatine bloodline, mate, ain't messing around. There were like a few little funny bits, especially in the title crawl. She's traded. She ain't traded, mate. She's just the most OP character in movie history. But she's a Palpatine. It covers a lot of it, so it's very forgivable. I also loved the chemistry between her and Kylo Ren, but my favourite bit, man, of like chemistry-ism, apart from the Reylo bit, which we'll talk about at the end, again, when she's stopping that transport, because she thinks, and we think even, Chewie's on board, and then Kylo comes and starts pushing it, she's pulling it towards her, and then she gets the ump, mate, the proper rage ump. The lightning comes out, and the thing explodes in midair. Just, that is a hype, mate, visually looked so good, man. You can see Kylo's face, mate. Oh dear, Palpatine's not lying. And I actually thought, like, Daisy Ridley's performance in this, again, like Adam Driver's, was the best, man. She was very, very good in this movie, and I really liked the evil Rey thing. And again, called it. Just a stupid vision. But they had a fight, mate. Double-edged lightsaber Rey versus normal Jedi Rey. That was such a hype in the cinema, mate. I had proper goosebumps. And that little bit, she tries to bite him and she's got, like, dagger teeth. I loved it, and we need, like, an alternate reality version where she's just the Empress, mate. Right, now let's talk about Sheev Palpatine. He's back, mate. He's back. I actually kind of really enjoyed, in a weird way, how creepy and scary he was, man. He was proper scary, mate. He's just horrific to look at. His voice was a little bit off. Probably because, like, Ian McDermott's obviously naturally aged. He ain't got, like, the exact Palpatine voice. But visually, he looked awful, mate. And I loved it. The opening of the movie, or, like, nearly the opening anyway, where Kylo visits him at his planet. We got that clip. It was brought online from the official Star Wars channel. In fact, I'd done a reaction to it. That bit in the movie, though, a few things were different, and obviously it's extended. That was really good, man. And I can't believe this, but I said we need 10 things we need to see in The Rise of Skywalker. One of them was to explain how Palpatine's alive. And I said, as a joke, be funny, like, if he says something like, you know, the dark side's a pathway to abilities, blah, blah, blah. And that is what they done, but it was funny. I was laughing on the inside, but I kind of thought it's linking to the prequels, so I dug it, man. I know a lot of people are very, very salty, like, why didn't they explain how he's alive? And I'm kind of a little bit upset as well. They kind of said, like, about the cloning, which I totally don't think. I know that is the OG Palpatine, man. Just, that's it. But they mentioned things like Sith magic and old Sith techniques, so I'm fine with it. It's a little bit funny. It's just very, very strange. And there's a rumour it's going to be explained in the book novelization version of the movie, which comes out in March, I believe. So I don't like that they put things in the books like that, but at least they try and explain something. But for the movie, it wasn't too bad. I never, like, questioned it. Side note, at that scene, I'm really glad they, like, mentioned about Snoke. Don't need any dialogue about it. We saw the Snoke clones. I said it from day one, mate. Palpatine controlling Snoke. It was great. I know I keep talking about that scene, but I actually really like the whole, like, Sith statues and stuff. Anything that builds along the Sith lines of history and stuff, I really dug it, and it was pretty good. And now we know for definite, every time Kylo was talking to the helmet, he actually was talking to Vader. He was talking to someone, except it was Palpatine being a sneaky, lying little shit. At least now we know it wasn't Kylo losing the plot, just like talking to no one. The way they brought Palpatine in it, if they planned it or not, it's up for debate, but that'll be for another video maybe one day. But for the movie, Palpatine, he was fine, and I enjoyed it. Also really liked the lines he said at the end. I am the Sith. But my favourite line, and one of my bros died in the cinema, mate, when he said, strike me down and become Mistress Palpatine. That is fantastic. Just that is classic Sheev Palpatine with his sneaky little lines. Now let's talk about the end scene. Just, first of all, The amount of Star Destroyers with technology to destroy planets, you know, that's just JJ again. Oh, you like ships, eh? I'll show you ships. It was pretty insane, but I dug it, man. What I didn't really like was those stupid horses running along the Star Destroyer. That took me out of it, man. I'm not going to lie. That was one of the negatives. I couldn't say in my non-spoiler review, but that was dumb, man, and I really didn't like it. They tried to make it cool when they said, like, disable the technology, and they're like, oh, there is no technology, and they're riding on horses. I didn't like it, mate. What I did like, those BB-8s there, like, he's full-on charging ahead of everyone else. My man BB-8 just is an unstoppable force. Also, I did not like the Sith Troopers. They looked so sick in red, and they got battered, mate. They had no, like, good kills. They got destroyed. Now, let's talk about Sheev Palpatine, aka the Vampire Lord, mate. My man is draining their force energy to become younger, rejuvenate himself. I know, I've seen on Instagram, a lot of people were salty, man. They did not like it. I didn't mind it. I didn't enjoy it, like, so much. I definitely didn't hate it. I'm, like, properly in the middle, man. I guess they, like, had to do something, and this is the best thing they could think of, and it's JJ again, giving us a new force power, which I kind of enjoyed. And they kind of explained the whole connection and the healing and the OP powers when Sheev says to him, like, this force ability hasn't been seen for, like, hundreds of years. That's their way of trying to, like, swipe all the BS under the rug. I get why that line of dialogue had to be in the movie, because, you know, people start saying, like, why didn't Obi-Wan just heal Anakin, mate, after he chopped his legs off? So that was their way of, like, just avoiding all of that stuff by saying it hasn't been seen for a long ass time. But when he drains their powers, and my man shoots lightning in the sky, and he just kills everyone. He destroys everyone. If that's not OP, I don't know what is, mate. It was so over the top. I know a lot of people probably didn't like it. I didn't mind it because it's just so mentally crazy, and it's Star Wars, remember, mate. There's nothing real about it, man. I kind of enjoyed it. It was well over the top, but again, it's a new thing. He's obviously so strong now, and he don't even need the Star Destroyers. He could just kill everyone with one bit of lightning. And then he picks up Ben and ruins him, mate. He kills Ben Solo like he's nothing. He's obviously still, and to be rightfully so, still very, very salty about Vader throwing him down the shaft. So he's just returning a favour, man. The whole NC no, I'm hit and miss with it. The more I think about it, I definitely didn't hate it, but I definitely didn't love it. It's hard, like, what can they do? Rey's, like, so athletic and good with lightsabers, and she's got two of them. And Palpatine is this super duper old man who just looks like he's about to die at any minute, and she can wipe out entire fleets with lightning. So how do you do that? How do you make them fight? I guess they tried their best. However, like, let's just talk about, like, the lack of Force Ghosts. I said again in my top 10 video, I really want to see a Force Ghost of Anakin, and we don't get it, man. Apparently there was rumours, Anakin was there, Hayden filmed a bunch of scenes and they cut it out last minute. I don't know why they've done that or if it's even true. If it's true, I'm a little bit sad. If it's not true, then, you know, it is what it is. But I really did like and appreciated the Force Ghosts right at the end. All coming, talking to Rey, helping her, giving her the energy to beat the evil vampire lord, Mr. Sheev. And again, they kind of, like, explain it, because early in the film she says to Leia, I can't, like, speak to the Force Ghosts, blah, blah, blah. She ain't got the ability to speak to them. And yeah, just, they try to explain things, other things weren't. The whole Force Ghost thing, I'm proper 50%. I like it and I don't like it. So I think I have to see the film a few more times, man, to appreciate it. But I did like Mace Windu, Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, Ahsoka Tano, Anakin, obviously, all those characters talking to Rey. I really liked that. I thought it was quite emotional, to be fair. The actual death of Palpatine, it just reminded me of, like, Voldemort. How Voldemort just, like, disintegrated into nothing. It wasn't too bad. It was alright, I suppose. But let's just talk about the Rey life. So Rey dies. I love that. Ben climbs out of the pit, heals her. I don't know how he's learned that so quick. Maybe, like, the connection, they sharing powers. And I get he couldn't do it before because using the dark side. Dark side people can't heal each other. I get that. Just, he learned that very quick, but I sort of glossed it over because it's my boy Kylo, even though it makes, like, little to no sense. But he heals Rey. They have a little moment, which is very emotional. Another nerd tier moment, I gotta admit. They set up in the last film, and they've done a lot of setting up in this, and I think it paid off big time, man. I was worried when I saw it. I thought, please don't be cheesy, because that'll kill me, man. But it was handled very good, and the actual death of Ben Solo, sorry. What is going on, boys and girls? I'm properly losing it, man. When Ben dies, I felt it. I felt it, and that's all I wanted. He had a perfect arc for the sequel trilogy. I don't care about no one else. My boy Kylo, it was great, mate. I know a lot of Reylo fans will be very, very happy, man. I was a little bit salty that he wasn't a Force ghost at the end, like how Anakin was at Return of the Jedi, but I started thinking if you bring back him, then you might as well bring back Yoda, and then you might as well bring back Mace, and then you obviously have to bring Anakin. And then before you know it, you've got a whole army, so they just kept it as Luke and Leia. She buries the lightsabers, which I thought was very, very sick, and the way she buries them, totally badass. And then the bit that fans are very not happy with. Rey Skywalker, mate. What are you saying? And she even looks to Luke and Leia as if to say, like, is it cool? I'm nicking your name. Thanks, bud. Rey Skywalker, when I think about it and say it more, and she's identifying as that to, like, you know, give the legacy of Skywalker to continue and to block out her stupid Palpatine lineage. I like that, and if you think about it, she starts going around going, hey, I'm Rey Palpatine, mate. A lot of people are not going to like her because they just remember that evil old vampire lord, Mr. Sheev. Again, I'm 50-50. I like it and I don't like it. It's not as bad as people are crying about it, but it's not that bad, man. It's alright, it done the job, and it's the rise of Skywalker, so yeah, I still don't really like the name of the film, if I'm being totally honest. Also, the goldy, orangey, yellow blade, that needs to be explained a little bit. I know, like, the yellow blade is for the Sentinels, so it wasn't really yellow, though, to be fair. It was like kind of goldy orange, so hopefully we get a reason of how she's made it, why it's that colour, and I'm looking forward to that. And again, blatantly going to be in a book. But I did really like, and a lot of people didn't notice this, I put on Instagram as well, that saber is made from her staff, man. That's what it looks like, kind of familiar. I really like that she's used the staff to become like the saber, because she's had it since the first film, man, or like the 7th film. So now I just want to talk about some things I liked and didn't like, and some strange little bits. These are going to be totally random, in no order whatsoever. First of all, I liked how JJ handled Luke Skywalker. It was 99% better than in The Last Jedi, but there were some things that were blatantly fuck you, Rian Johnson, in his film. Just, it was so obvious, man. When Luke catches the lightsaber and he says, like, a Jedi's weapon needs to be treated with respect. That is the polar opposite for the last film, mate. What's going on? It's almost like you had different directors and they didn't really like each other, or the direction they went in. Just those little retcon moments. I was 50-50. I like he said that. It was a big F you to the last film. It kind of took me out of it, like, oh, it's just, I don't know, man. But for what it was alright, I guess. However, the moment that I got more nerd chills, more nerd tears, was when Luke lifted the X-Wing in Yoda's theme, or Yoda's score, whatever. And people saying, it's just copying the bloody Empire. Just remember, the X-Wing was in there from the last film. So it's kind of like, I don't even think it was on purpose. In fact, I'm pretty sure it wasn't even on purpose. Coincidental. But he left his X-Wing underwater because he didn't want to leave the planet, and he lifted it up. Oh my days. That moment, really powerful. Very, very well done. Luke and Leia training with the young light tech on their face, and he had his green lightsaber in the forest with some slick-ass moves, mind you. I loved it so much, man. There were actually a lot of flashbacks in these films, and Star Wars is known for, like, not having too many flashback scenes. But this film had a lot of them, and that was one of the best flashback scenes in the whole saga, completely, mate. Just that scene, that had me, man. That was really, really well done. I'm glad it was in the movie. Now, Dio, the new droid, I know he's getting a lot of love and stuff. He was alright. I didn't, like, superly love him. I mean, if you look at BB-8, I prefer BB-8 way more. People are saying, like, he's better than BB-8. You are tripping, mate. BB-8 is still my favourite droid now in all of Star Wars. I need BB-8 in my life, mate. If someone could build me BB-8, I'll be very, very happy. Even BD-1, which is in Jedi Fallen Order, the game, even he's well better, man. I mean, the hairdryer with a little wheel, he was alright. I don't hate him. I don't like him. He was alright. However, the droid I really liked, C-3PO in this movie, wow, he was good, mate. I don't think I've ever said on the channel, but I don't like C-3PO. I'm just not a fan of him. Like, he does the job. He's funny in some bits. Just his overall thing, I'm not a big fan of 3PO, man. In this movie, he killed me, mate. Here, when they fall through the sand and he's in the background going, yeah, I'm okay, or whatever he said, I was in stitches, mate. I loved it. And his interactions with Babu, that little, like, cretiny creature, I need Babu in my life, mate. Those two were amazing. And when he says, when his memory's wiped and he says, Babu's my oldest friend, I was dying, mate. I was actually dying in the cinema. It had good comedy for 3PO and he surprised me a lot. However, R2-D2 and Chewie, They done nothing, mate. Chewie's had, like, the most role, I think, in The Force Awakens. He done nothing in the last film. He done nothing in this film, apart from sort of playing that stupid chess game and getting captured, and Maz Kanata gave him a random medal, which is totally random, but whatever. I know they got medals in A New Hope, but I didn't really like the medal bit. I didn't get it, but whatever. I just think Chewie and R2, they had nothing to do in this movie, and it was a little bit sad. As for the new characters, I didn't really like them, mate, if I'm being honest. Just the girl with the horses, I don't even remember her name. I'm so sorry. I can't remember her name, mate. I didn't really like her. It was nice at the end when she was with Lando, and Lando in this movie was very cool, man. But I just never connected with her, and even Rose, man. Returning Rose, she got butchered in this movie, mate. Proper bad. I think Finn, like, pats her on the shoulder, I'm patting my own shoulder, and then he's gone, and then she does nothing, mate. So she got retcon in this as well. The only characters that I really liked were the new general guy, again. Was it General Pride? Something Pride, I think. Or I'm just losing the plot. He was pretty cool, man. I liked how he said to the Emperor at the end, like, I've been serving you all this time. I'm going to continue to serve. He was pretty sick. And the new badass female character with the helmet. And again, I should have Googled this, man. I got no phone. I got nothing in sight. I'll completely apologise. I'm proper being newbie right now. But the one with the mask on, she's a badass, mate. And she needs, like, some sort of spin-off thing with Poe. I'd totally go and see that. Talking about Poe, Poe and Finn were good. The chemistry again together, they were really good. They had a lot of bickering and stuff. It was nearly to the point where it's too much, but it just under it, so they were fine, man. However, the two, like, characters that got kind of butchered again, General Hux, he was a proper worm in this movie, mate. As soon as they said there's a spy, I knew it was him, mate. Just, he's such a little worm, and he just hates Kylo Ren. Now he's the Supreme Leader. He's going to be super salty, and he died quick time. He didn't have much to do, but at least he was in the movie, I guess. And the Knights of Ren, they look so sick. For what they do, it's not too bad. I wish they had more screen time, but they get to fight Ben Solo at the end, so I can't be too salty with it. And the last thing I'm going to say, what is going on with Finn? What is this, like, new Force sensitivity? I've got a feeling and all this. I did not like that one bit, mate. If you're going to have it, you need to set that up in episode 7. Maybe JJ tried to, because he's having the lightsaber for a long-ass part of the film. But from the last film, there was nothing, mate. He even tried to kill himself. So yeah, I didn't really like that, so yeah. And that is it, boys and girls. That's my spoiler discussion. I hope this isn't too long. I've got no timer with me, but you know I love to waffle on, especially when it's Star Wars related. But let's have a chat in the comment section below, full of spoilers. Just go full blown to it. What's your favourite part of the film? What's your worst part of the film? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I will see you next one. Remember, you will subscribe.